Punch-Out is a boxing game that was released on the NES in North America in 1987 under the name Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Nintendo was granted a 3-year deal to use the likeness of Iron Mike and apparently made the deal when he was not world champion, but they still expected him to win his upcoming bout to reclaim the title. For the record, this deal between Nintendo and Tyson expired, and Nintendo released Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream in August of 1990. Well before the trial and sentencing of Tyson on rape charges in 1991 and 1992. Gameplay of Punch-Out is easy to learn but difficult to master. Few lifelong players have even made it far enough in the game to fight Tyson himself, and even fewer have beaten him. Still, the gameplay itself uses the few buttons on the NES controller in ways that make perfect sense. You can block or dodge punches thrown by your opponent by using the D-pad's left, right, and down buttons. The B button throws punches with your left hand and the A button your right. Uppercuts can be thrown by holding up when punching. You have a health bar as well as a number of hearts and stars. Stars are acquired by punching an enemy at the right time and allow you to throw an extremely powerful uppercut by pressing start. And the hearts will drop slowly whenever you block a punch or yours is blocked, and will drop more rapidly if you take a punch. Between rounds you can press select to hopefully heal a little bit more than you otherwise would. Because there isn't a lot of action in the game, and because of the third-person perspective over the player's shoulder, you can get an excellent view of the ring and your opponent, and the crowd in the background too. Certain things can happen in the crowd to designate when the player should perform certain actions. The sprites, particularly of each opponent, are extremely large and detailed, and since there's never much motion going on the screen at one time, the game plays with an unmatched fluidity, a pace that really suits a boxing game extremely well. The sound effects are standard fare for early Nintendo titles. Some familiar sounds are there to be heard, but Nintendo, in their masters of their own hardware style, knows exactly when and where to use which sound effects. Everything feels right at home. Punches are rewarding, blocked punches sound like they're blocked, and arcade-like sounds stand out when characters build up to do one of their super moves, as if they're playing to the crowd. The music selection is limited but memorable. Unlike the arcade version of the game, at least music does play in the background during a match. The story of Punch-Out centers around the player character, Little Mac. In the manual, we are told, "It all began one day when Little Mac and Doc Lewis met by chance. Doc became Mac's trainer, teaching him everything there is to know about boxing. Doc and Mac's story continues over a seemingly endless path, until one day, a champion is born." Doc Lewis and Little Mac progress through the game, and while you think that might be it, there are animated cutscenes showing Little Mac working hard, building up strength. Before and during matches themselves, Little Mac receives coaching advice from Doc Lewis. There's sort of different montages that go on throughout the game. While it may seem extremely basic, these small elements go a long way to building a convincing story arc for Little Mac to follow. This game was being developed a solid 10 years after the first Rocky movie came out. In fact, the first 4 installments of the Rocky franchise were already in place when Punch-Out was being developed. So you could easily guess that they might have some useful material to borrow from. While it may not seem like much, what Punch-Out does have going for it is the basic outline of a boxer's struggle to work their way to the top, to gain recognition, to become champion, and to remain relevant after a loss. Add to that the fact that the game is fun to play, even when you're the one getting beat down, and you've got a magical formula for an instant classic. People may have ignored its story elements for years, but this game definitely punches above its weight, so be sure to check out our story so far. Hey everybody, thanks for watching episode number 77 of Our Story So Far TV. If you enjoyed that video, and I hope that you did, please click that like button so that I get the feedback to know whether or not I should continue making episodes like this. You're always welcome to leave a comment below or strike up a conversation with me on Twitter. That's @NewAngel, N-U-A-N-G-E-L. As I said, this is episode 77. If you're looking for the other 76 episodes, they can be easily found over on ourstorysofar.tv. I always try to have a new episode ready for you guys every 2 weeks, and during the off weeks, here in the summer of 2018 anyway, I'm doing moto vlogs, but they're gaming moto vlogs, so check those out too, you might be interested. Until next time, take care of yourself.